the nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Bimbo Oloide.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, Nigerian youth storm National Assembly, ask lawmakers to show their pay slips and also justify all allocations made to the House. More trouble for the federal government as NASU gives strike ultimatum if outstanding salaries are not paid. Nigeria woos international investors at a forum in New York, assures them a friendly environment to operate. And former Liberian President Charles Taylor may spend the rest of his life in jail as UN-backed special court upholds his 50-year sentence.
And on Business News tonight, the World Bank approves funds to support federal government's effort at providing affordable mortgages for middle and lower income families.
And on Sports News tonight, Qatar's 2022 World Cup hosting rights in further jeopardy following World Football Governing Body FIFA's concerns about disturbing news of maltreatment of migrant workers.
Some young Nigerians are turning the heat on the members of the National Assembly, demanding that they disclose to Nigerians the management of all allocations made to the National Assembly, including all allowances and their salaries. The youths who gathered in front of the National Assembly in Abuja today also demanded a full publication of the attendance list for each plenary session and the voting record of the numbers on all national issues.
Protesting youths carrying placards to drive home their demands to federal lawmakers. For several hours, they sang with the hope that the leadership of the National Assembly will address them. Just as some lawmakers were about to address them, a convoy drove by, and the protesters thought it was the Senate President, Senator David Mark. Nevertheless, they made their demands known to the lawmakers that came to address them.
This year alone, you were allocated 150 billion naira.
Yes.
From 2011, your statutory allocations are not disaggregated.
Yes.
So we don't know how it is spent.
Yes.
Now, the estimates that you earn 25 million a month,
Yes.
40 million a month, we don't know because we haven't made it public.
What we are concerned about is not the number of amendments you make, it's the implementation. Yes. What is the National Assembly members doing?
While acknowledging the right to know of every Nigerian, including the protesting youths, the lawmakers made attempts to correct the impressions the youths have and accepted the demand for a debate.
Information. The budget is 150 billion out of 4.6 trillion.
And so what?
And that is exactly 3%. And 3% is 3% of one arm of government. And what it means is that when you are trying to seek for where there is waste, for 3%, you're not going to find the waste there. The waste is in the other 97%. And if you want a debate on that, I am the chairman of Information and Media in the National Assembly. If you seek a debate with me, I will give you the facts. There is nothing to hide inside here.
The Senate spokesman also promised to make public his personal documents.
As Nigeria prepares to celebrate its 53rd independence anniversary, federal lawmakers in the Senate have expressed concern about the low level of development in the country. While speaking on the State of the Nation, Senate President David Mark urged Nigerians to build a nation whose unity is an article of faith based on equity, fairness, justice, and equal opportunity.
We are today worried about our dear country. And we're genuinely worried and genuinely concerned. And this cuts across party. It has nothing to do with party at all. Because we are Nigerians who are interested in the development of our country. If you go back memory lane and you recall our old anthem, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. The question to ask us is, do we stand in brotherhood today?
Igbos under the aegis of Aka Ikenga converged in Lagos at the National Institute of International Affairs to chart a way forward for the Southeast. The gathering attracted the best brains from the region, and the guest speaker and Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, Most Reverend Matthew Kuka, used the occasion to examine governance in Nigeria. Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola also talked about the relationship between the Igbos and Yorubas and apologized for his government's relocation of some homeless Igbo people to their home states.
It's the 25th anniversary of Aka Ikenga, the think tank of the Igbo nation, and the group chose to celebrate this while looking at the challenges of leadership in Nigeria. Prominent Igbo sons and daughters, including industrialists, retired generals, and politicians, all graced the occasion. For Bishop Matthew Kuka, Nigeria may have gone through difficult times. Yes, the challenges are not unexpected, but he says our choice of leaders is responsible for our slow growth.
We did not return to democracy so that contractors can continue with their contracts. We did not return to democracy so that a few people will become rich. We did not return to democracy simply because we just wanted roads to be built. We returned to democracy so that the frontiers of imagination, the frontiers of knowledge can become limitless, and that government can support what ordinary people feel and think.
And for Anyim Pius Anyim, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, this is the moment to examine Nigeria's journey towards nationhood and indeed the place of Ndigbo.
Aka Ikenga can join the government in sending the message that politics is merely a contest of ideas between competing platforms. It is not a war that must be won by dangerous or foul means. I think that Nigerians can disagree on policies, on the sequence of policy initiatives and their outcomes. Indeed, we can even disagree on strategies, but we cannot afford to disagree on overriding national objectives.
And then it was time for the governor of Lagos State to make his remarks that offered him an opportunity to put in proper perspective the erroneous impression that he has some bias against the Igbos living in Lagos.
We have built a relationship based on tolerance, based on mutual respect, based on trust and love. That relationship was started by our ancestors. It was handed over to us, and we have nourished it with a lot of trust, with a lot of understanding, and with a lot of fidelity. Those who misunderstand that relationship, who think that there is no value in that relationship, I have come here to correct that. I put a lot of value to that relationship. And so if those people have misunderstood me, or they have misunderstood actions taken by our government, here, now, today, I offer an unqualified and unreserved apology.
This event may have given people here an opportunity to take a hard look at all issues as they affect the country. Indeed, some suggestions have been offered, but again, putting all of them into practice may just be the next challenge.
More trouble may be in the offing for the federal government as the National Executive Council of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, is giving the authorities till Thursday, October the 3rd, to release all outstanding salaries or face national strike actions. The president of the union, Comrade Ladi Ilya, told journalists in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, that the government is reluctant to pay her members in the federal universities August and September salaries. The union says it feels betrayed by what it calls the silence of the federal government to pay the salaries despite all pleas by the union.
If these our salaries are not paid, and those who are supposed to pay us salaries don't have the courtesy of telling us why they cannot pay us salary, that is an insult of what can be referred to as double tribalism. You don't pay me, you don't tell me why you cannot pay me. Then you expect me to massage you, write you better. That will not happen in the history of our education as now. If they don't pay us, we are not even giving them up to that day of October. No, we said 7 days of simulator and 1 day is gone there from today. So from tomorrow is Tuesday. No money, no work. No pay, no work.
Gunmen believed to be members of the Boko Haram sect have attacked Doruwa Garimbaba village in Nangere local government area of Yobe State, killing 3 persons in the process. Nangere is 110 kilometers west of Damaturu, the Yobe State capital. The military spokesman of the 3 Divisional Special Operation Battalion, Captain Eli Lazarus, who confirmed the incident in a statement, says the gunmen stormed the village in the early hours of today and killed a pastor and 2 of his children. The insurgents, according to the statement, burnt down a church and 2 other houses in the village before fleeing the scene. Eyewitnesses said the insurgents, who were 8 in number, arrived the village around 1 o'clock this morning on 2 motorcycles and killed 3 residents before burning a local church and 5 other houses in the village.